Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about a ecological conservation organization. Today's organization that I will be discussing is Oceana, which their motto is protecting the world's oceans. I am Matthew Greer. This is presented for Biology 505 Conservation Organization Assignment through Grand Canyon University. My professor is Dr. R. And this was prepared on August 17th. So what is Oceana? Oceana has the vision statement, Oceana seeks to make our oceans as rich, healthy, and abundant as they once were. They fight for policy in countries that govern global marine life, and they've identified 4 major problems that are rampant in today's oceans with human interactions. Number 1 is overfishing. We're taking too many fish out of the sea. Number 2 is chemical pollution. This is in the forms of oil spills, this is pesticides, this is fertilizers running down the Mississippi River to the Gulf of Mexico. The third problem that they've established is non-sustainable fishing practices. This kind of ties in with number 1 with overfishing. We're taking more fish out than can naturally replace themselves. And so making the sustainable fishing where we're getting enough food but also not being detrimental to populations is a happy medium. And number 4, that humans are depositing too much trash into the ocean. This picture here of this turtle, he's stuck in a trawling net. And there's a lot of plastic garbage inside of the ocean. And this has detrimental effects to wildlife, to plants, to marine algae. All of these are impacted by this wasteful practice. A brief history. Oceana was founded in 2001, and it was founded after a 1999 study showed that less than 1%, half of 1%, of conservation dollars were being used towards the ocean in the United States. In 2002, the organization partnered with Ted Danson's America Ocean campaign, Coming Together, and the two groups ran the OceansAtRisk.com campaign. The main goals of this campaign was to reduce destructive fishing practices, like dragging trawling nets across corals. And another concern they had was of bycatch and food waste. A lot of times when they're trawling, they'll catch other things, such as loggerheads and leatherback turtles. In this diagram up here, sharks and small whales and dolphins. This image is from Reef CI. And these are not what they're meaning to catch, and a lot of times they either die or are killed, and that food is not used, and those species are harmed. So how does Oceana protect the oceans? They campaign policymakers and businesses to protect the oceans. They've had, since their start, they've had 225 successful victories that they claim, and have protected nearly 4 million miles of ocean since their creation. Their first victory was in 2003, and they pressured the government to require larger turtle exclusion devices, or TEDs, on shrimp nets. And they estimated that 60,000 turtles are saved yearly due to this. This picture of a turtle excluder device here shows how this turtle is allowed to escape while the shrimp are kept inside of this net. This law was further solidified in 2019 and is now applicable to any fishing boat that's using trawling nets over 40 feet long. So some more recent victories. In June of 2021 in New England in the United States, they protected corals from deep sea trawling. The area protected is the combined size of Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. And it's this area here in this darker blue here. It's shallower than the area around it, and trawling hurts that area there. So by protecting that, they're protecting a lot of the fish species that live there. And then moving a little bit further back in Maryland in May 2021, they campaigned for laws against the releasing of balloons. National Aquarium suggests that 40% of plastics found on these beaches were from balloons. And And then the rest, there was a large percent of single-use plastics, like 20% of that was water bottles. This helps protect the 96,000 jobs in Maryland that rely on a clean coast. Now, I chose to showcase these victories because they're recent, but they've also done work in Scotland and New Zealand and many other places around the world. So how specifically does Oceana help? Well, Oceana is a nonprofit organization and it receives its funds by donation. For the year of 2019, they reported that they received $42 million in donation. They then use that money to lobby policymakers and educate businesses in countries that control 29% of the world's marine catch. They also use this money on expeditions to photograph, film, and research unique marine ecosystems. This is an example of their boat here. This one's based out of New Zealand. But they go and they figure out how they can use these dollars and what kind of policies that they should be pushing for. Here are the references I used in creating this presentation. I hope you learned something. Oceana accepts donations on their website, which is this About Us Oceana one, 2021. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.